Hope you enjoyed your meal. Now that we have our speakers on the dais, let's move further with the business session 3, that is emergence of new technology driven innovations in global supply chain ecosystem in plastic industries. First we have Shri Himanshu Parashar. I would request Shri Devendra Acharya to present him with the memento and the bouquet of flowers. Shri Himanshu Parashar is a head business development at Ecovision Environmental Resources LLP. He is having experience of 18 plus years with companies like Hindustan Times Media Limited, Reliance Broadcast Network Limited, Dainik Bhaskar Group, Rediff.com, 94.3, My FM Radio Division, etc. Second, we have Shri Paritosh. I request Shri Jayesh Joshi to present him with the memento. He is the manager at CPET, Ahmedabad, working as a manager in the plastic testing department at the CPET, IPT Ahmedabad. I request Joshi sir to provide the audience with the opening remarks.
So we have two experts from the plastic industry. This session is on the emergence of new technology-driven innovations in the global supply chain ecosystem, specifically in plastic industries. There was a research report which was having the title, The Recycled Plastic Market, Global Analysis and Trends. It reviewed and analyzed the recycling industry internationally. And the research suggests that there is a strong case for the development of innovative technologies that overcome identified challenges and support continued growth in the particular sector of plastics. The opportunities across the recycling industry include increasing the cost effectiveness of waste collection, providing more efficient sorting and reducing rates of contamination, using low value or underutilized feedstocks and delivering high quality resins that can compete with virgin materials on price and quality. Strong growth is predicted for the market over the next decade to deliver a total value of $66.9 billion by 2025. There are projects where India has been working on various zero plastic waste economy with Australia. The key economic factor is the cost and quality competitiveness. And this particular session is going to dwell about this with two of our experts. May I first invite Shri Himanshu Parashar, the business head, Ecovision Environmental Resources LLP Surat, to please make his presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Himanshu Parashar. I am from Ecovision. And today our topic is sustainable approach towards plastic waste management. So today you all are aware that we are living in an era of plastic where we can't think even a single thing without plastic. So plastic is everywhere. So that is why Ecovision is there to eliminate plastic by recycling it. So let me take you through with a quick video which will give you an understanding that how plastic is harmful for us.
Our Indian economy is growing at a rapid speed, but this growing economy is damaging our ecology even more rapidly. Various studies indicate that the greatest man-made material, plastic, is the main cause of damage to the ecosystem. Plastic is woven so deeply in our daily life that it is creating a massive flow of waste, polluting the soil and water.
We have a group of companies called Envision and Ecovision. Envision is basically known for environmental people. We are into environment consultation since last 40 years. And Ecovision is a sister concern of Envision. Ecovision is basically a waste management company, plastic waste management company. We have a tie-up of all major corporations in Gujarat like Vadodara, Ahmedabad, Surat and Gandhinagar. So we are into PPP module for next 10 to 15 years to 20 years. Let me take you through with our mission, vision and objectives. So Ecovision shall be a leading global enterprise in plastic waste management and recycling practices to enable sustainable growth. Our missions to be leading change maker in plastic recycling industry to empower the underprivileged people, to reduce the quantity of unaccounted waste, and our objectives are to conserve environment from adverse effect of plastic waste, and to motivate green, clean and healthy cities, towns and villages. In our Ecovision umbrella, we have a strong association with all major government bodies like ULBs, corporations and other government bodies. So we basically collect waste from all across cities, industries and corporations, and we recycle the same in our plant. Also, we do project consultation, which is based on plastic waste only. And we conduct IEC activity, जहाँ पे हम लोगों को समझाते हैं कि प्लास्टिक सेग्रीगेशन वेट और ड्राई का कैसे होना चाहिए, so that segregation कोर से ही प्रॉपर हो. That consultation, that program is also conducting by us on regular intervals. And then we also manage EPR, which is Extended Producer Responsibility. And हमारे अम्ब्रेला में ये सर्विसेज के बाद हाउ वी आर हेल्पिंग सोसाइटीज़, दैट इज़ व्हाट आई वांटेड टू यू टू फोकस. वी आर बिल्डिंग अ सस्टेनेबल सोसाइटी. वी आर empowering the underprivileged people like rag pickers, kabadis, who are unorganized. So we also conduct clean drive programs in beaches and other areas जहाँ पे बहुत dirt है. So basically we drive on regular basis these exercises, practices on regular basis. And we at Ecovision have midday meal. So we provide them a food or free meal concept at our plant, where anybody can come in our lunch hours. We offer them free meal to Safai Sathis, securities and their kids. And as I mentioned that we have we are conducting IEC activities for plastic waste and dry waste awareness. And let me tell you the challenges which are most important in waste management. So 150 lakhs metric ton waste we are generating on daily basis in India. This is I am talking about was solid waste. Then solid waste में से 90% waste is what we actually collect. But उसमें से सिर्फ process 20% ही होता है. Still 80% is solid waste which is going on landfill. And इस total solid waste में से 26 lakhs metric ton plastic waste we are generating on daily basis. And इस 26 lakhs में से we can treat 60% plastic waste, but still we are not able to make it. So this again goes to landfill, which is a huge challenge. And these are the sources which are actually generating plastic waste. जिसमें topmost industries अगर हम देखें तो industry packaging and wrapping is in topmost, which is contributing 30% of waste. And then chips and wafers and confectionery category, which is contributing 7.5%, which is again a huge. So these are the categories which are generating plastic waste. Plastic generation के बाद हमारे environment पे इसका बहुत adverse effect पड़ता है, which you all are aware that plastic is non-biodegradable. It takes thousands of years to degrade, and this also affect our soil fertility. and marine pollution, death of animals, drainage block, and if sometime we burn this plastic waste, तो ये toxins create करता है, which is very harmful for the environment. Let me tell you the solution. Ecovision is believe in reduce, reuse and recycle. So basically we believe in triple R. So not that movie one, but triple R is reduce, reuse and recycle. So waste hierarchy includes recycling as the third step, which is a crucial part of contemporary trash reduction. So what actually we do in Ecovision, waste को we convert into granules. So waste to wealth की journey Ecovision करता है for environment sustainability. And in last 4 years, Ecovision played a major role and given a tremendous contribution to save almost 1.71 hectares land we have saved. We have given 1,000 plus employment to the people. We have saved CO2 reduced. We have reduced CO2, which is almost 3.16 lakhs ton, and saved energy as well. And in last 4 years, we have collected 83,000 metric ton waste, plastic waste, and processed the same. Then we have a process flow that how waste come and how we proceed it at our plant. So collection, we do door-to-door collection and from dedicated corporation collection centers. Then we take it up to this sorting and segregating on conveyor belt. Then next process इसका shredding, washing and drying पे जाता है. And then एग्लो एक पाउडर फॉर्म में इसको हम कन्वर्ट करते हैं. देन एक्सट्रूडर के थ्रू ये ग्रैनुअल्स फॉर्म में मेल्ट होता हुआ ट्रेडर्स और मैन्युफैक्चरर्स के पास री एप्लीकेशन के लिए जाता है, जिसमें दे यूज फॉर मल्टीपल एप्लीकेशंस. आई विल टेक यू थ्रू विद द वीडियो विच विल गिव यू एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट व्हाट काइंड ऑफ प्रोसेस वी आर फॉलोइंग. Sorry.
Recycling starts as the plastic waste arrives at the facility. Plastic gets segregated in different segments. Then it goes to pre-wash, and from there it enters the shredder machine. Through floating wash, it reaches the friction wash, where high pressure water cleans up the oil and other impurities sticking onto the plastic. Then it reaches the dryer, where the shredder plastic gets dry and ready for the next step. This shredded plastic waste is fed into the agglomerator, where it is shredded further and heated into finer particles. Then it reaches to the extruder, which brings it out in form of threads. And is cut in the cutter machine to get plastic granules. These granules later reach the various plastic industries to be cast into various products like chairs, tables, benches, and other items.
So this is what the process which we follow. And then we come to this recycling plastic benefits. So recycling के benefits, there are in number of benefits of recycling plastic, but few of them which I want to highlight. We actually reduce the plastic waste load on landfill. जो कि landfill पे ही पड़ा रहता है, उसको हम landfill में जाने से save करते हैं. Also we save natural resources, because जब प्लास्टिक के ग्रैनुल्स हम बना देते हैं तो वो डिफरेंट एप्लीकेशंस में यूज़ होता है और वो यूज़ होके हमारी सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी में ही घूमता है, which is that is what we do. Then Ecovision meets almost all major sustainable goals like no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, water and sanitization, industry innovation and infrastructure, quality education, sustainable cities and communications, decent work and economic growth, climate action, life on land, life below water, reduced inequalities. So these are the goals which we are meeting. And if I talk about EPR, so we have solution as EPR for industries for their sustainability development. EPR is a friendly initiation between industries and Ecovision. EPR is extended producer responsibilities. You must be aware, and this applies for importers, producers, and brand owners. And then there is a working model what we do in our Ecovision. So basically, producers, importers, and brand owners different form में packaging, marketing के through directly, indirectly consumers तक अपना product plastic packaging में पहुंचाते हैं. Then वो local bodies like ULBs, industries के पास पहुंचता है. Then via corporation वो Ecovision के पास पहुंचता है. Ecovision उसके अगेंस्ट CPCB में प्लास्टिक वेस्ट कलेक्शन का एक सर्टिफिकेट प्रोवाइड करता है अपने प्रोड्यूसर्स, इंपोर्टर्स एंड ब्रांड ओनर्स को. दैट्स हाउ वी आर एट Ecovision एम टू अचीव ऑल द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी बाय रिसाइकलिंग वेस्ट इनटू वेल्थ. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for sharing the work that you guys have been doing. Our next speaker is Shri Paritosh Divasili. I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Paritosh Divasili from Central Institute of Petrochemicals Engineering and Technology. Institute is having a 46 center across the country, and we are mainly with the plastics and allied industry related businesses. Basically, we are an institute providing the training in the field of plastics and petrochemicals, and also providing the technical support services to the plastic industry. The topic today is the technologies related to the plastic recycling, and what are the new and latest trends going on throughout the world as far as the plastic recycling is concerned. The previous speaker, who is an entrepreneur for the plastic recycling company, they are basically with the mechanical recycling area. And there is the issue of the mechanical recycling is the quality of output is, there are more demand on the quality of output from the mechanical recycling. They are also working very hard to provide the best possible output. But generally, the recycled what in demand is with impurity in ppm level, whereas their output have a percentage impurity possibilities. So below that, they are not able to work on that. So there the game changer technology is required, where the technology can really support the recycling industry as a whole, and also sustainability and other aspect of the environment related issues. As you all know, the waste management hierarchy, and it is always told okay, reduce, reuse, recycle, and if you are not able to do it, then go for the energy recovery out of that, and finally, if nothing can be done, then landfill. As you know very well, the packaging industry is, and the construction and infrastructure industry, they are the major contributor for the plastic waste overall. And these are the symbols which you might have noticed on some of the plastic product when you are using it. The number 01 is for the PET, 02 is for the HDPE plastics, 3 is for PVC, 4 is for LDPE, 5 is for PP, 6 is for PS, and all other plastics, they categorize in number 7. This is not for exactly for the recycling units where they are just going to see through it, see and put the things out. It is basically to support the segregating people or the waste collectors so that they can have a more possibility of earning good money if they are aware about these issues, this particular terminology used by the producers. Again, reduce, reuse, recycle, recovery, landfill. This is a very common terminology we always talk about whenever the recycling is as a topic of any of the discussion in any seminar. What was happening since 80s, how the world is moving with the waste management, specifically for the plastic waste management. In early 80s, it is a waste management only, where to dump, like NGT is going to impose some penalty on you, and you shift piranha waste to some other remote location where you will say, okay, we have cleared your piranha mountain, and now everything is fine. Now, they have not done anything. They have just shifted the waste from one location to another location. No useful product is out of that. But the authorities will claim, yes, piranha dump is clear. So that was the scenario in 80s, early 80s, in the developed country also. In 90, they started talking about the waste to energy situations. And then in 2000s, they are again started with the waste to revenue. And now the trend is waste to value, high value things. Like I want to spell out one example. A company in Nashik, they are into PET recycling, and they are converting the PET waste into the virgin quality recyclates, and they are supplying to the Adidas. And the recycled material से बना जो Adidas का जूता है, वो normal जूते से 1.5 times cost में यूरोप में बिक रहा है. So this is the value when you are converting waste to the value. And there are the companies where in the international scenario, Viola and Stena and many others are there. They are working in this area since 2010 onwards. And as I told, the landfill is the last alternate we are targeting with. Incineration is the second one. ज़्यादातर EPR में जो बात होती है, wherever we are going, तो सीमेंट क्लीन को दे दीजिए, EPR हो गया, पेपर वर्क हो गया, get rid of the things. But ये सबसे खतरनाक situation है as far as the plastic is concerned, because we have a limited fossil fuel resources and plastic is mainly coming out from that. And the alternative is that bioplastics and all. But again, when the half of the world is not getting enough food and we are converting that thing into the plastic, that is something which is a crime. So definitely we target, rather than incineration, we should target how to recycle it in a useful or value-added things. And that is where the recycling comes into the picture. So what is most important is the collection. The major challenge is the collection. If the rag pickers are not getting enough money for their livelihood, they will not collect. And the example is Gutka pouch. But when you are arriving at Ahmedabad railway station in a Shatabdi or any other premium train, within no time, the waste collector will jump into the train, collect all the bottles from there, and even within no time, without any effort by the authorities, they are clearing the train. So that is the case. If they are getting good money out of that, definitely they will work on that. But Gutka pouch, definitely they are not getting anything on. So it is always littered, and you will find everywhere at the curbside. And definitely littering should be avoided. That is our regular matter. As a layman or as a citizen of this country, we should first and very important thing, the littering practices should be improved, and we should use all those bins which are available by the authorities, where we can dump our waste so that they can effectively manage it and recycle it. So this is a small flow chart, how when the consumer is consuming the plastic product, it will go to the waste collection stream or it will be littered. And then from there, when it is collected, it will go to MRC, Material Recovery Centers. They reprocess it as Ecovision is doing, they reprocess it, and then that can be again go back to the useful product, and then again it will go to the consumer bag. Or otherwise, there is a methodology where the talk what I want to deliver today is chemical recycling. And there you can convert it to the chemicals and then finally to the virgin quality polymers. Already there is many things, and video is already shown by the Ecovision representative here related to mechanical recycling, and there are major areas like grinding, washing, separating, drying, regranulating and compounding if required to improvise the quality of the polymer. So these are the things they are doing, but there is a challenge in that. First challenge, how to segregate the waste, because you are many types of plastic available in the waste stream. It may be the polyolefins, it may be the engineering plastics, it may be the composites and other thermoset polymers, plastics, and to segregate it is the biggest challenge. And the technologies are also available for that. The very fundamental technology people are using is flotation. Difference in density, the simple physics is basically used to segregate the plastics. But the challenge is, when you talk about the polyolefins, the density ranges from 0.87 to 0.96, almost nearby. And the another issue, when we as a plastic processor or the plastic industry, when they go for it, they generally try to reduce the cost of production. And to do so, they put different type of fillers during the processing. That also change the overall density of the product. So one cannot confirmly define that yes, with this flotation, the available yield is for that particular type of polymer. That is the biggest challenge. Second thing, PVC and PC. They looks like the same when it is in a transparent color, and a small trace of PVC in the PC that will destroy the complete batch. Your quality will be destroyed. Further to that, people are now coming up with the further physics, which is near infrared sensor technology. Tomra and many other players in the market available, Hamos and all, they are doing this, but it is a little costly technology. Again, this technology is able to segregate the waste up to 97-98% what they claim. But there is a real challenge. Before putting your plastic into their system, you have to shred it or make it in such a small size so that it can be handled. And effectiveness is also there, and in a developed country, this technology is mostly adopted, even if the price of the technology is very high. But in a country like us, we generally depend upon the manual sorting mechanism, where the manual sorters are available on the line and they are sorting out the plastic waste based on their knowledge about the raw material. Like the meaning is that if a person who is on the line, if he understands that this plastic bag is of PP, he will put in a one bin. If he will understand, yes, this type of plastic may be LDP, he will put another, depending upon the inputs given by their superiors. So that will land up in a different type of the situation. Even if after sorting, we may not come with the right kind of output. Mostly, apart from the big player like Ecovision or Nepra or others, most of the plastic recycler, maybe in the Dharaji cluster or in other clusters at the NCR and all, this is the way they are doing. Very basic machines, very poor kind of the situation of the working environment, and unskilled workers are engaged in this area. And we are targeting what Reliance or IOCL or Sabik or anybody is doing. We look for that quality of the polymer. Definitely we will not get any day. So this is the major challenge. The investment in this sector is required. This is the data for Viola, UK. This is the data where India is the one of the leading recycling country, whereby we are recycling around 60% of the plastic waste what we are generating. And all other countries like developed country, US 9%, and if you go to the Europe, they are 30%, Australia 14%, and so on. So this is the situation, but the way they do, even for the 9% or the 30% or 14%, and our 60% is not giving a very desired output or the quality of the product. So there the issue is, we do a lot of work, but we are not with the smart work. We are doing labor. 60% plastic conversion, okay. But are we going to get the virgin quality material out of that? Unfortunately not. So for that we have to first understand how plastics is made. Starting from the crude oil to the naphtha, then we will have a monomer after the naphtha cracking, and then we polymerize it, make it become a polymer. Then we have a plastic pellets or granules, what we say, that it will be converted into the product, will be used by the consumer, and finally after consumption that become a waste. And there is landfill or incineration or mechanical recycling or blah 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 type of the activity we do it with. So for the recycling, there are different routes. Shorter the loop, better the environment. जितना ज़्यादा लंबे रूट में जाएंगे इतना ज़्यादा क्वालिटी बहुत ज़्यादा इम्प्रूव हो जाएगा. सो सेम मेथोडोलॉजी जहाँ से आया नरसिंह मेहताए कदाच कोई जमानाમાં કીધું હતું કે નામ રૂપ જુજવા જુદા અંતે તો એમનું એમ. It is something like that. It will go back to crude oil. So if you recycle it and if you do the mechanical recycling, you will get, or otherwise you can reuse it, like what we are doing in our day-to-day life. Some bottle is there, water bottle is there, we again refill, we reuse it. So like there is a reuse methodology. No impact on environment, nothing is there for using that. No carbon emission, nothing. Then comes the mechanical recycling. There we shade it, again make a pallets and all, then again produce a product, and further it will go to the consumer and finally it become a waste. Further to that, dissolution, it is the advantage of chemical recycling and mechanical recycling. It is an intermediate thing, depolymerization and dissolution, where you are not converting the waste into gas or a liquid, or not sending it to the cracker plant, but in between you are using it, and that will give reasonably good quality which match with the virgin plastics. And that is the today's need. So beyond recycling, mechanical recycling, if we are thinking about it, is a chemical recycling. And here are the different ways. Solvolysis is one, dissolution is one, which will make a virgin grade plastics. When you go for the pyrolysis, where we are making the gas out of the plastic waste and then sending it to the cracker, the loss is around 30%. But when you go with the mechanical and dissolution, your loss is almost nil. And impact is also on the environment is very, very less compared to the pyrolysis process. The major issue, as I already told, it degrades the plastic properties. The properties of plastic is degraded. So suppose you have a PET bottles available with you with a certain molecular weight, and when you are recycling it, there is a reduction in molecular weight. The same cannot be further used for the making bottles again, if you are not using the right type of technology. There is a possibility with the mechanical recycling for the bottle to bottle conversion, but one has to go with that technology. If we go with the very ordinary technology what general Indian industry is using, that will not support it. And the catalytic pyrolysis toward the production of monomer and oligomer, as well as the solvatic way to obtain them, that is a method of that is what we say as a chemical recycling. And the example is generally in Europe or other developed country, the carpets are from the nylons. And they use the hydrolyzed steam, and in the Slovenia, they make pure caprolactam, which is a feed for making nylon again. So this is how the things are going there in the developed country. The benefit of this process is it can be used for the multi-layer film recycling. That is a challenge for the mechanical recycling. When you go with the mechanical recycling, your waste stream should be clean and clear. But if you have a multi-layer film like a packaging films from all chips, pouches and all, there the issue is because homogeneity of the entire mass is not possible. People are claiming that they have some additives and some type of things available with them, which will make it homogenized. But unfortunately, it is not able to give the right type of solution. So this process, dissolution or chemical recycling, that will definitely serve the purpose when you have a polypropylene and nylon as a multi-layer film, or PP and PAT as a multi-layer, or white good electrical and electronics industry waste is there. For that type of a waste, if you targeting the recycling, mostly ABS is one of the major component in WEEE. So there, this particular chemical recycling process is a better alternative. I want to give a flow chart for the Pure Cycle, one company, startup company there in Holland. What they are doing, they are basically going with the same way what regular mechanical recycling people are doing, melting and filtering, and they add some solvent in that, and they go for the polymer solvent mixer and extraction column, whereby they are able to get, segregate the dissimilar things like additives and all other type of other impurities, feelers and everything. And from there, they will go for the large particle settler things. Then they again filter it with the candle filters. And finally, they go for the purification columns, separate the basically polypropylene and polyolefins, they are the major polymers, more than 40-45% available in the waste stream, and that is a big challenge. And for that, this technology is, they are claiming the technology is up to the mark. And at the separation level, they finally add solvent into that and finally get a yield of, after decanting, they will removing the solvent, and finally they get the required type of the polymer which they extrude and pelletize. So this is how the entire process flow is. Basically, when you talk about all other type of plastic waste management, the majority of the plastic waste which is available on the curbside is polyolefins, maybe mostly with the polyolefins like PE films, LDPE films, or polypropylene bags. So there's a type of technology is generally useful on that. So this is all about the presentation, and if you have any question, you can.
We can have some questions if you want, or we go further ahead with the last session of the day. Any questions? Yes, there is a question.
Sir, my question is the Himanshu Parasar San. Sir, my name is Sachin S. Pandey. I am from Honda Motorcycle Scooter India Private Limited. It's in Vitlapur. So, sir, actually my question is that you told about the APR. Suppose, sir, as an industry, we submit like 100 ton to you. Okay, as a APR, we submit 100 ton of plastic generation to you. And in regards to the same, if you submit us the certificate, so how much quantity of APR certificate you are submitting to us? It's 100 or it's a 90 or something amount? Like if it is 90, then where the 10 tons goes? Because as per my knowledge, some percentage of loss will be there during the granules formations and all, because the heats are there. So some losses will be there. So how government are tracing about that losses of percentage during the EPR process?
As far as losses are concerned, so the GPCB regional officer visit was expected last week only. So losses, but on an average losses are there around 40 to 45% on collection, because बहुत डर्ट होता है प्लास्टिक में, दूध के पैकेट्स गंदे आते हैं, तो इसीलिए हमारे लिए जो आईसी एक्टिविटी होती है वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट हो जाती है क्योंकि हम कलेक्शन पे आपको ईपीआर लाइबिलिटी देते हैं, और ईपीआर लाइबिलिटी जब कैसे कैलकुलेट होती है वो 3 कैटेगरीज में डिवाइडेड है, इंपोर्टर, प्रोड्यूसर्स एंड ब्रांड ओनर्स। सो अगर आप प्रोड्यूसर हैं तो आपकी लाइबिलिटी लास्ट 2 साल के क्वांटम जितना आपने सेल किया है उस क्वांटम का एवरेज निकलता है। तो 2021 की जब हम लाइबिलिटी कैलकुलेट करते हैं तो वो 70% आपका एवरेज पे निकलता है लास्ट 2 साल के, और 22-23 की करेंगे तो 100% निकलता है आपके एवरेज पे। सो जब हम प्लांट पे वेस्ट लाते हैं तो वो कलेक्शन पे हम लोग ईपीआर लाइबिलिटी आपको प्रोवाइड करते हैं।
Okay, so means government is okay with that collection data, and they are not okay with the generation data, because they asked to the industry about the generation data, and you are submitted the data on the basis of collection. So
yes.
there is no any issue with the government.
नहीं, as such नहीं।
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Any other question? Fine. So we have spoken about EPR. One interesting point which came out was that we generate 26 lakh metric ton plastic waste. That's a huge amount. And mechanical technology to convert this waste as a circular economy has its own limitations. We were also, during his presentation, we also saw, that we need segregation awareness. Very, very important. In our homes, we need segregation awareness. I mean, that awareness has to come from the plastic industry. Why? Because we would not be able to identify which plastic is different from which plastic. So that awareness needs to be created, and that awareness needs to reach every home, every individual, so that at source, if it is possible to segregate, we can do that. One more very important thing was that in times to come, not only plastic engineering, but chemical engineering needs to enter into this, because he was talking about chemical process of recycling. Waste to management, waste to energy, waste to revenue, and waste to value. Waste to value, which we think about now, needs a lot of efforts, and I'm sure in times to come we will be able to do it. एक चीज मुझे जो सबसे ज्यादा अच्छी लगी या मेरे दिमाग में आई, ऑफ कोर्स इट इज नॉट डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग, गुटके का पाउच कोई लेता नहीं है, आपने बताया, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है। गुटखा खाना ही बंद कर दो ना, उसका पाउच की भी चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है। गुटखा जाएगा तो शरीर को परेशान करता है, और गुटके का पाउच एनवायरनमेंट को परेशान करता है। दोनों चीज हम खत्म कर देते हैं। क्या लगता है? दोनों को खत्म करना चाहिए, गवर्नमेंट को बंद कर देना चाहिए। आई थिंक वी शुड राइट टू द गवर्नमेंट कि गुटखा बिल्कुल बैन कर दो, है ना, लेकिन वो फिर गवर्नमेंट के तौर पे ही रहेगा। हम क्या करेंगे? हम खाना क्यों नहीं बंद कर सकते? अनफॉर्चुनेट पार्ट इज दैट हम खाना बंद नहीं कर सकते। तो गवर्नमेंट बैन करेगी कि हम तरीके लाएंगे। यहां प्रोहिबिशन है, लेकिन बोलते हैं कि गुजरात के अंदर प्रोहिबिशन होने के बावजूद सबसे ज्यादा दारू बिकता है। प्रॉब्लम हमारा है, प्रॉब्लम गवर्नमेंट का नहीं है। एनीवेज, वी नीड टू थिंक अबाउट दिस। there would be a big debate on that. लेकिन हाँ, एक बात जरूर है कि गवर्नमेंट अपना काम करे, लेकिन हमें भी अपना काम जरूर करना पड़ेगा. That we need to understand. So let us close this session and let us move further to the final session of the day, final session of the conference. Please. Thank you very much, sir. I thank both our learned speakers here who have, come here sparing their valuable time and sharing this much knowledge with us. And so on behalf of Saket, thank you very much. Yeah, sure. We will not have any break. Within 5 minutes, we'll start the last session again.